listening to the Connect Church podcast featuring the pastoral staff of Connect Church in Tupelo, Mississippi. This podcast delivers biblical truths, hot topic discussions, and encouragement you need on your daily journey to live like Christ.
The Human Resources Department requires that I be available.
Not sure if the invite cards are nifty, but the mustache is definitely not.
He's in charge of our children. What are we doing?
I don't.
Here are your hosts, Terry Pierce, Andrew Pierce, and Tanner Stahl.
Thank you all for being here. Let's get started.
What is up, everybody, here on the Connect Church podcast? We are live streaming the podcast today. Yay!
What does that mean?
Who's excited about live streaming the podcast? Anybody?
Well,
oh, nice. Make some noise. Let's make
according
some noise.
to Terry, there is no difference between a live stream and a podcast.
Yeah,
that's valid.
I'm a live podcast.
But we are here live streaming that we are hoping to try to catch some of you on your lunch break. Maybe you're out sitting in the car just chilling and watching on the live stream, or in your office. And
Smoking a cigarette.
don't have earbuds on, Amanda. Yeah. But we are here. We're episode 18. Now, I was thinking earlier in this week as we were kind of planning out for the summer, do we continue to do this through the summer months, or do we take a break and come back in the fall? You know,
Viewer poll.
A viewer poll?
Do we have that?
Well, I mean,
technically they're not viewing us unless we live stream, but
Or listener
I guess
poll?
I could put out a poll. So,
do we really want to know the answer to that? Because if we get the answer, please take a break.
they're like, shut up,
Shut up, and get off the air, man. You guys are morons.
It's a really bad.
We hear crickets like we had 3 people. Yeah, I guess stay on. Well, I take that as a sign.
Yeah. Anyways, Miss Barbara says, "Yeah, keep going." So, hey, there you go. Hey,
thank you, Miss Barbara.
Miss Paula Ainsworth is watching.
Miss Barbara's so
cleaning her
sweet,
house.
though. It didn't matter whether we were, selling something. She would just be for us. So
That's right. That's right. So we are on episode 18 of the Connect Church podcast. It feels like we're on episode 100, but it's only number 18. Yeah. So, but it's been a lot of fun. We appreciate everybody listening and tuning in and giving us positive feedback and sharing it. By the way, that's the whole purpose of the podcast.
You got a big shout out to all of our listeners, and we have had some tremendous encouragement and feedback, and people make fun of us, but it's been good. So thank you guys for sharing it. It's several different states are listening in, by the way.
That's
so not
definitely true. Definitely true. Keena says keep doing the live. So do you mean, Keena, do you mean live stream, or do you mean just keep doing it over the summer? You have to clarify that. But anyways,
she's struggling today. She just got back from Mexico last night. So
wait a minute. Okay, Amanda Bedingfield just said Andrew is actually working for STD weeks. What are you doing over there with our teams, Andrew?
Not gonna lie, I have no earthly idea.
6 weeks. 6 weeks. Yeah, she said 6 weeks. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Okay, Amanda, if you're going to use the keyboard, don't type like Terry, okay?
Did she really type that in?
She said
That's
STD.
Awesome.
STD.
That's horrible.
Oh my goodness!
Well, with that mustache, we didn't know. Okay,
she gets on me for one misspelled word. I love that. I'm going to hold that against her. That's awesome.
Oh my goodness! I don't know if I deserve to be fired or Tanner does for his comments.
I'm just reading the comments from our church members. Okay?
Amanda must have been letting the cat use the keyboard.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that's good. Akina said she clarified she wants us to keep doing the live stream. So that's
okay. So wait, I'm still confused. What in the world did Amanda actually say?
She said that you have to work for 6 weeks straight, so she'll give you a break if you don't want to do the podcast.
I got you.
Oh, okay. That does make much more sense. I got you.
I'll do it. I'll do it, Amanda, but not for STD week.
Amy G says, please keep doing the podcast, what we're doing. I'm going to need this after we move to Daphne with a bunch of sad faces. Well, Amanda, Amy, there's a cure-all for that. Don't move to Mobile.
We'll give you more hours at Bulldog.
Yeah. Hey, I am excited. Nick is going to play guitar with us this week. So and I think he said this is actually going to be his very last Sunday to be able to play before the move.
Belinda and I are taking him out Saturday night for supper, so we're going to get. I had privilege of leading him to the Lord, and and of course the girls and different stuff. So that's going to be a cool thing, and so we hate to see him go, but anyway, hey,
yes, we do.
We're going to buy him a supper. Anyway,
I always say people ask about the band and stuff, and I always say that Nick is my anchor. Like, I could always count on Nick to be there, and he's got the way he plays his style of guitar, like it's
just solid. Yeah.
You know it when it's missing, like, and so
Yeah.
I always call him. He's my anchor on that.
So I get it. So we're gonna just normally when folks leave the church, I never get a chance to see them. So now I get a chance to actually say goodbye and take them out to supper and have a good time. So hey, so that's a positive.
Leaving on good terms.
Leaving on good terms. Yes.
We don't want you to leave, but since you are leaving, we're glad that you're leaving on good terms.
Yes.
That's right. Anyways, Amanda says she's going to start looking for a new church after her STD comment.
She's the one that typed it.
Yeah, my dad said, "Mommy and I are good with continuing." Mommy? I don't think I've ever said mommy in my life.
You're gonna be in counseling here
Mommy?
after.
Anyways, all right. Well, let's get into the episode 18. A good example. It was continuing on in our Philippians sermon series about being a good example, and you brought the heat this week, man.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, the music was spectacular.
Yeah, it was.
And then
It set it up, baby. It set it up.
Unbiased opinion, of course.
and then you followed
And
it
the
up.
children's
with a
sermon
good
was fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, was it? I mean,
I don't know. We didn't live stream. The world may never know.
That's right. But anyway, so a good example coming out of Philippians, and I do have one. I have some breaking news regarding your sermon. The rhinoceros joke you told
Yes,
was really bad.
No,
really
that
bad.
was- Yes.
It was bad.
There was 100 men in his club.
No, it was rough. What was that like?
That wasn't even a dad joke. That was just embarrassing.
I read it in Wearsby's commentary.
Yeah,
I highly doubt that.
you get a lot of good stuff out of that commentary. But that was not one of it. Let's put that one away.
That was off his Sermon Central.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's rehash it real quick before we go to lunch because I'm hungry. I just went swimming and I am hungry.
Oh, dude,
my tummy is gnawing on my backbone.
Tanner exercising and hasn't had lunch yet and a snack, so he's going to be.
He might get really
Yeah, he's
grouchy.
going to get really grouchy in this podcast. So
Yeah.
shut up, Andrew. Let's go.
And I did appreciate you bringing out the 1988 Michael W. Smith.
Yes,
That was
friends are friends.
No.
I mean, we could have found a better video to clip of it, but
Yeah, that was lame. Sorry.
Well, for whatever reason, I heard him playing it in the office, and I said, "Oh, please tell me you're not taking us back to 1988 for your sermon Sunday." And then he tried to sing it, which was even worse.
Yeah.
Oof. Sorry, you guys can just fast forward through that little part right there in the sermon.
The rest of it was good.
All right, so
Rest of it was good.
Give us a quick rundown of a good example, Terry, and then we'll break it down a little bit.
Yeah, I think that, one of the things that we talked about was just, and a great place to start for our listeners today is think about the good examples in your life. We tried to introduce that with a message and shared, personal stories. And I think it's always a great thought. I'll grab the end out of the message there and bring it up front here to the center. But one of the things that we make a mistake in doing, application, spoiler alert for the end of the sermon, but is that we magnify our sports heroes. You remember at the end I talked about the Chicago Bears and, I know all about Mike Dick and Singletary and the numbers, Walter Payton, 16,000
I was surprised
yards.
you didn't bring up Jay Cutler.
Were you surprised?
I was. I thought weuld get a Jay Cutler comment. out of it.
All I can think of going through
Oh,
my,
not in a positive light.
all I can think of right now is my brains were live language. So anyway, so there's just anger and language. And I'm on pills. So anyway,
do we have a bleep button?
so please don't go there. So because anyway,
I like Jay Cutler.
but stop it. Anyway, and so he's absolutely garbage. But anyway, so talking about all of these heroes that we magnify in our personal lives and and whatever that we look up to, but yet how often do we really not appreciate people in our church? Just this guy prayed over me last night in the church, and just spontaneously just coming up and praying, and I think about I've mentioned all the preachers in my life that where took me under, and so I think we need to really be thankful and praise God and be appreciative of the people around us, even currently. Maybe that would be even a good thing. Sometimes some of us in the old Free Will Baptist stuff and legalism, we think about, the glory days and these great people. And a lot of times those stories weren't necessarily as accurate either. Our memories are a little bit skewed on those kind of things. Maybe, and I'm hoping, and I would say this, the people currently in my life are probably walking closer to God than anybody else I've ever had in the past. Maybe we need to learn to appreciate the present heroes in our life.
Mm-hmm. I just wish we could be like Enoch and God would just take us. Like that would be
Preach.
And even
be
from
ideal.
I guess a little bit younger generation generational spin on all that too is Ashley and I were even talking about this last night, and I'm gonna bust on all of our teenagers here for just a minute, but like on Instagram,
They're not watching.
I said, no, they're not. It's fine. Their parents maybe, but it's fine. On Instagram and a lot of these Snapchat and all this, they follow so many famous people. And so they'll actually like re-quote or whatever, or repost their stuff on their story, on their personal stories about all these people. For instance, again, not a bad person to follow and stuff, but Sadie Robertson, you know, the daughter of one of the Willie and Duck Dynasty folks and everything. And, you know, she's an outspoken Christian. She speaks at tons of conferences, great believer, great, you know, person and everything to follow. But she just had a baby. I forgot, she apparently got married like a year ago, and she's just had a baby like yesterday. She has already created an Instagram for her baby. Like, it's her baby. I think her baby's name is Honey.
Honey. Yep.
Honey James. And see, you already knew this. Honey James.
My wife loves Sadie Robertson. So.
Exactly.
It's not a bad thing.
No, not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's we have teenagers, maybe even Tanner's wife, that has already started following the baby's Instagram.
Wow.
And stuff like this. We're so enamored with like famous people, with all of this. And yet this generation, Gen Z, is the loneliest generation. They're not looking at examples for like people, you know, three guys sitting right here around the table all the time. They don't always run to that. They don't run to their parents. They're seeking this affirmation, and it's all done through social media and stuff. Y'all, you got great examples in your life. You've got what was your catchphrase for Timothy and Epaphroditus? What'd you call them?
Timbo and Ephro.
Timbo and Ephro is way better than Benifer. So
Yes.
Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez.
Oh,
come on,
okay.
Tanner.
No, I'm not into that. Sorry.
Oh, no,
I was thinking Brian and Benifer. So,
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was
Brian and Jennifer are our Benifer.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
At least they're still married. But anyways, we elevate these people so much. And again, not throwing shade at Sadie Robertson or anything like that, but you know, you've got great godly examples, heroes of the faith in this church and stuff, in your circles and stuff, and we just take that for granted all too often. So I just want to throw that out there.
That's good. That's good.
Go into real quick, Terry, your belief versus behavior,
Yeah.
and then cap it off with what you changed it to.
Yeah, the thought that leads into that is Paul's been making the case in chapter 2, and by the way, a little segue into chapter 3 for this Sunday. Wow, I mean, now I'm following the track of this whole thing. Paul is setting this up. Sunday's going to be good, but the Sunday after that is going to tie it all together. And he's making the case, getting us ready for this Sunday as well. So we'll lead into that in a little bit. But the belief versus behavior, he's setting this up in chapter 2, and he begins the first 12 verses with the belief. And he's saying Christ is your ultimate example. And then in verses 19 through 30, he finishes out that whole section talking about, that we've got to let this affect our behavior. And so it was really cool that, how he just connected the fact that we need, we've made it in most of our Christian lives in our churches. We have made it a belief. We've taken one of two stances. Honestly, predominantly churches are in the belief, category. Most of our movement has been, we're going to stand for the faith, and we should, we're going to stand, but we've taken it so far that we're going to, we've got to be King James only, or we've got to do this, and you've got to, wear a suit and tie to church on Sunday, and, we want to measure the length of your dress when you walk into our auditorium, is a belief versus the example of Christ. And then the behavior.
People did that?
Yes.
That's a little awkward.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, they didn't physically do it, but you could do it. I mean, I literally got complaints here, about people, well, I think that girl's dress is a little too short, blah, 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 and all this stuff. We would get emails and texts. Anyway, so moving on beyond that.
You could see her ankle.
That's right.
Right. So moving beyond that junk. But anyway, here's the thing. We intentionally had behavior that, we're going to have a church that we don't wear shorts and we don't do that. But, that's what we were talking about in our prayer meeting yesterday. But yet kids are out here having physical relationships, sexual relationships, doing all kinds of other stuff. But we're worried about wearing shorts, and all these kind of things are going on. And we didn't connect the dots that, really genuinely speaking, Christ is our example. And our behavior comes in that we choose to personally, inwardly, it's the inside out that makes a difference in our behavior.
Yeah, that's good. Now, going back to Timmy and, I wrote...
Timbo and Ephro.
In my notes, I wrote Timmy and Epi. I don't know.
I like that. I could have went with that.
I think because it reminded me of Timmy Pen and EpiPen.
Oh, that's good.
So,
I like that. If I would have heard that, I would have went with that. That's better.
Sorry.
Based on Tanner's recent allergic reactions, he's got EpiPen on the brain.
Yeah, I enjoyed the nicknames, and I think you made a great call by doing nicknames over trying to say the name.
Yeah, it would have come out wrong. But you know what? If I would have had your phrase, I would have come out with a new slogan. I would have said, "Hey, this week shoot up with Timmy and Effie."
Oh no! Well, it's better than him basically celebrating STD week if he tried to say Epaphroditus 1,000 times. It turned into something.
Yeah,
good deal. So okay, now another point I wanted you to come out with here is your statement from Dr. D.A. Carson, or Scholar D.A. Carson, whatever he is.
Scholar.
The Honorable Bishop Reverend Doctor.
He is a really smart dude.
The quote is, Christian character is as much caught as taught. That is, it is picked up by constant association with mature Christians.
Yeah, and I'm going to let Andrew hit most of this because this is really the cool thing about moving our church to the younger generation. It was so cool last night as we were doing the prayer time. I love how that our church is reaching young adults. We had millennials and Gen Zs that were here on Wednesday night prayer time. And they're just starting to come and attend, young adults in our services, because they want to see authenticity. And we're going to deliver the doctrine, we're going to deliver the truth. But this is what discipleship does. This is what our teens need. They don't need parents to bring their kids to church for us to save them. Your kids, you can legislate your kids. We want them to be polite. We want them to say all the nice words and don't say stupid and don't all that. I don't care whether my kids said stupid. I don't care whether my kids did or did all of the polite things. What I cared for is that my kids learned to see the pain in life. They saw that there was a lot more worse things out there than stupid on the TV, on their music, and all those things. What they wanted to do is I wanted to teach them at home. They learned to catch from Glenn and I how to filter the bad stuff. Let them learn how to filter out the bad stuff and bring Jesus into the bad stuff so they're not overwhelmed and hypocritical with it. But I could go on, but I'll let Andrew talk a little bit more.
I was going to say, you did a great job of letting Andrew handle all that fun right there, as you alluded to.
That's per usual. But
you got anything to add to that?
I can find something. No, just it's the significance of discipleship. That's what honestly our role and I think there's a misconception sometimes when we talk about our D groups and even connect groups and stuff like that. The goal is not for me, like for instance, I have a teenage D group. So I meet with 4 teenage guys and stuff. They're all high school guys. And we meet every other week and stuff. And we just go over here journals, talk about what's going on in life, all this stuff. Sometimes we play basketball. Sometimes we go eat Mexican. We do other things and stuff together.
I like Mexican.
They want to plan it.
I love Mexican.
They want to plan a trip to Top Golf. We'll see.
Amen. Yes.
But the reason why all this has come about is because it's not like I'm teaching them something. There's little elements where I'm like, well, that's not at all what the passage said. But good try. No, they're actually really good at it. As far as like actually interpreting what the original context and everything was, they have surprised me a lot in that. But it's not a teacher model. They're not relying upon me. It's just they're spending time with God. And we're holding each other accountable and talking about what God has spoke to us throughout the week. That's what a D group is. And honestly, what we're doing is we're modeling what's more caught than actually taught. I'm not teaching them anything. We're just doing this together. That's the whole point of discipleship, is that a lot of it, 99% of it, is caught, not taught. They're just seeing me model and living out we just went through the book of Ephesians, which speaks to all of this. The first 3 chapters tell you who you are in Christ. You are dead in your sin, but God, rich in mercy, paid the price for you. And then he spends the next 3 chapters saying, well, this is what you do with that. You walk in love. You walk in the Spirit. You put on your spiritual armor. You're strong in the Lord. Like, you have to know who you are before what you do. And that so many times isn't taught. It's caught and everything too. That's why we do discipleship on Wednesday nights. That's why we have D groups, why we do connect groups and stuff. Because if you're just, don't fire me. If you're just, relying upon Terry's words and everything to come through and you don't have a spiritual diet all throughout the week, it's not going to be enough. He may be a great speaker and herald of God's word, but it's caught, y'all. Y'all got to do this in the daily. Model it before your kids. Model it before your spouses. All of that stuff. You want your marriage to change? It's got to be caught, not taught.
Well, I've got an objection to that. So you remember that in the New Testament, Jesus did lecture series for how to parent. He did seminars, and he did, podcasts, and he did conferences, and they all attended those, and that's how they all came. Oh, wait, or did he just hang out with 12 guys who went out and changed the world? I don't know.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm okay if you fire him. Yeah,
I just
okay.
Get that as a polar vote.
Yeah.
I just have a certain flashing college name in my mind, but it's fine. Which one, Tanner?
So I do have some work to do because I thought a Turner Burn T-shirt would be good at the store.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yes.
now a Caught Not Taught T-shirt.
Oh,
would be good at
yes.
the store.
Oh, that's good.
I like that. So, do we have to put Bobby's name on the Turner Burn, or do we?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. In
Yes.
quotes.
Yes. And his picture.
Actually, the front should just be Bobby's face.
Yes.
And then the back can be his quote. I'm
Turner
definitely buying one of those.
He had some shirt on last night, though. Probably shouldn't say on the podcast, but it was like I can't think of the name of it.
Can't think of what it was.
It was like Led Zeppelin or something, So we'll put that on the back of the T-shirt.
Yeah. All right,
Well, Terry, it's not being moralistic.
Yes, I know. So, yes.
All right, we're 20 minutes in. We need to wrap this part up here. So, you got anything
Enough
else you
Bible
want
truth.
I know. You got anything else you want to talk about from your sermon notes?
Yeah, let me just give them the practical things to take away so that they can check out the examples, the good examples of Timbo and Ephro, or Timmy and Ephry, Didi, or whatever you call him. Anyway,
Didi?
and so I don't know. Anyway, so there's a couple of practical examples that I wanted to remind the congregation to check out if they haven't heard it. And that is, number one is the example of compassion. And so just dig into that point. And I made a statement that true compassion is not to help, and this is so cool. True compassion is not to help broken people feel better about themselves. I know that we have personality types in our church and listening on the audience that they really do have the gift of compassion, and we appreciate you guys, and we need you guys. But if you're not careful, you do that to make yourself feel better about yourself. And true compassion is not helping you feel better about your self-image, but this is what we're going for at Connect Church. This is why we say tough truths that sometimes offend you, because the next statement is godly compassion helps people become obedient and holy. And that's what God does. That's what Jesus does in your life. He doesn't do it to make himself feel better. He does it because he wants us to be holy and obedient to the Father. Godly compassion helps us be holy and obedient. And then examples of companionship, examples of companionship. And that's the great challenge that, we just already alluded to. So pick out somebody in your life right now, currently. I appreciate the historical evidences, and we should have those, and we need to read history, but we need to also appreciate those present companionships in our lives that are making a difference. And, honestly, giving a shout out to you guys Sunday, as well as, last night, and praying for you all too. And so I appreciate you guys. I'm not going to get mushy here because it's just, be really weird. But anyway, you've already had your mama moment with your dad. So anyway, but I don't need you in counseling. So, but anyway, we do need to be more appreciative of those people in our lives. And I'm thankful for my church staff and others guys. And then finally, character counts and being an example. And ultimately, that's the bottom line, guys. If who your heroes are and the people that you look to in your examples, just know this: they're going to come and go, but character counts in an example.
Yeah, and so speaking of good examples and good character, I want to ask you a question. How many brownie points did you earn for praising Belen so much in your sermon there?
Actually, she was.
Too bad she's sick, huh?
Well, but I didn't really get a whole lot out of it because the grandkids were in town, and I was like fifth string, dude. It was So she was cooking. She had grandkids. Her boys were home for the first time in 10 years on Mother's Day.
Terry was very gracious to let Belen cook her entire Mother's Day lunch.
Oh, yes. You didn't want him to cook it.
That's very true.
I grilled steaks the night before.
That's true.
They were good. They were good.
That's valid.
And as much as you talk about how we're all a team and a family, I didn't get an invite to that family steak dinner over there. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Tanner, I didn't either. They wanted us to drop off Nora.
Trust me, in our house that we downsized with the three boys back for the first time and the grandkids, there was no room. You would have not any fun.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that wraps up the Good Example sermon rehash. You can listen to that on the Sermon Playback Podcast, which is on the Apple Store.
It's easy for you to say.
The sermon. It's on the Thurman Playback Podcast. And, anyways, that's on the Apple Store. You can watch it on our website at www.triconnect.church, or you can listen to it again on our website, at www.triconnect.church. Check that out. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes with our favorite segment, the best and the worst of the weekend.
Have you been looking for a place to call home? Need a place that makes you feel welcome and valued while at the same time growing spiritually in Christ and biblical truths? At Connect Church, our mission is all about loving God, loving people, and making disciples. When we gather together, there's a spirit of worship, a spirit of kindness, and a spirit of welcoming to anyone and everyone who's seeking God's will and truth in their lives. We invite you to visit during one of our 2 Sunday services to discover how Connect Church can help you grow in your relationship with Jesus Christ. Our friendly and spirit-filled worship environment is just the place for you. Visit Connect Church this Sunday during our 9 o'clock or 10:30 a.m. services, located at 1650 North Veterans Boulevard in Tupelo, Mississippi. Or you can check out our live stream on our Facebook page or our website at www.triconnect.church. Again, that's www.triconnect.church. We look forward to connecting with you.
And we're back.
What was that?
Oh, Mario, man.
That's right.
Oh, I
and
gotcha.
we're back on the Connect Church
Woke me up.
podcast. Now, we're live streaming on Facebook now, and later this will be available on the podcast app, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, wherever you get podcasts. That's where you can go back and listen to it, or you can go back and rewatch it on the Facebook page if you want to, if you missed something. But anyways, we appreciate all your support and your listening, so we have somebody to talk to. All right, so let's get into our favorite segment, which is called The Best and the Worst of the Weekend.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Wait. Which was it?
This is the worst.
Every week, Terry, simply the best.
I'm going to sing that someday.
Simply the best.
Good stuff.
The best!
All right. Yeah. All right, Andrew, go ahead and give us your best of the weekend.
Man, I don't think I had like one moment that just stuck out as the best. We had a good weekend, a little bit more low key. We had family in town and stuff like that. At this point in stage in life, I was talking with another parent last night, said everybody prepares you for the terrible twos. Nobody tells you about the whiny ones. And Nora had one meltdown this past weekend.
It wasn't that bad.
It was, oh my gosh.
This is my life, y'all. All we hear about is Nora, dishwasher, Nora.
I didn't say the D word, but she was at least did better with Matthew than we anticipated. It's going to be.
She wasn't happy about it, but she was
not at
tolerable.
first. I think she actually was more disgusted.
That poor Matthew. I mean,
No, she was more disgusted at Aaron overall.
that poor Matthew looked just like Aaron.
He does.
And
He does.
he's got the same size head.
Same
as Aaron.
size head. Yes. Yeah.
Like,
Super brain. Yes.
That poor kid probably cries himself to sleep on his huge pillow every night with his huge head. God bless him.
But it was a chill weekend.
Hopefully
so,
he'll be as smart as Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Wait. As smart as Aaron, huh? He's the smartest. No one walks like Aaron. No one pees like Aaron.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Terry, what was your best of the week?
Just to piggyback on that, obviously having Matthew and Adam and Caroline and Aaron Courtney, and having everybody in the house. So first time in our new house, or we've been there 2 years, in that everybody was under the same roof. So Mama was happy, Belen was good, and so it was just had a golf cart moment. So even with Matthew riding there, Nora was not happy. She was looking at him and staring at him, and like, what are you doing on my Papa T's golf cart? But Matthew just turned around and he goes, oh, like this is the coolest moment ever. So when you get to be my age and you get cool moments with your grandkids, then life doesn't get any better.
How old are you?
56.
56. I thought you were a little older. I thought you were like 58.
Yeah, sorry.
By the way, I'm digging the Mario Kart. Like, behind all of this.
Golf cart, Mario Kart?
He has
Golf cart,
he had
yeah.
no idea. I'm digging it. That's awesome.
Is Luigi on there? What was it?
Luigi.
Luigi. Yeah.
That's
Loogie.
That's culturally offensive. to me.
Sorry.
He has all the loogies right now.
Yes. Every day. Who was the guy that you guys made me play that I always lost in that?
Wario. The big dude.
my best of the week, and we were talking yesterday how we don't really watch a whole lot of professional sports anymore. I don't watch the Royals anymore. I don't watch. I mean, I do a little bit, but I haven't watched the whole game this year. Definitely don't watch the NBA, and I do fantasy football still, but I'm still into the Preds. You know, they haven't. The hockey has not really got into that whole political.
They do something really neat. They just play sports.
Exactly, yeah. So,
and,
but the
and beat the
Preds,
daylights out of one another.
the Predators clinched a playoff spot this weekend, and it was like, you know, you heard me back in January. I'm just like, fire everybody because they stink.
Yeah.
They are terrible, but they turned it around, made the playoffs. So I'm trying to debate if I put, I have a Predators flag that I've put out in the house before on the side of the house, but I'm afraid if I do it, I'll jinx it. You know, so
did they still throw the salmon out on the ice?
Well, it's not salmon; it's a catfish.
Oh, okay.
This is redneck Nashville.
Yeah, my bad.
Salmon's for those bougie Canada
Redneck
teams.
Nashville. Yeah, so we don't do salmon.
That's for the Toronto teams. But,
Yes,
all right, Tanner, I am curious. How many different team flags for every sport do you have? Like, do you have a Royals flag?
I don't have a Royals flag. No.
Do you have? Who's your NFL team?
Titans.
Titans.
I used to have a Titans flag, but it got worn and tattered, and I just never bought another one. So right now, I only have the Hog and the Predators flags.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just have
we haven't really needed the others in a while.
You use that Razorback flag way too much. That's all it is.
We love. Hey, they love the Razorback flag.
And in fairness, he's had to keep that one in the closet for a while, but now it's finally, you know.
I mean, it's been a great year.
Yeah, it's been a great year.
Yeah, your neighbors disagree, but it's fine.
They love it. All right, let's go around and get our worst of the weekend, Andrew.
Oh man, first world props, but I've been struggling with a cold for like 2 weeks. I have more COVID symptoms right now than when I had COVID.
I'm so tired of you
I don't
complaining
have
about being
COVID.
sick.
I don't have COVID. We're all good there, but whatever it is, man, I'm the only person I think that can go to the beach and get sick. Like, you normally go to the beach to cure all your ailments, your stress, everything else. No, I'm going to go to the beach to get sick, apparently. So,
Way to go.
It is what it is.
That's what you get for bragging to everybody. Oh, I'm going to the beach. I'm not going to work.
I'm the first one on vacation.
Yeah. So that's
Hey,
what
not
you
my
get.
fault. You guys don't plan well.
All right, Terry, what's your
Yeah, I didn't. Honestly, my worst turned into my best last night. Just had a little prayer time, and if you haven't checked out Wednesday night service, man, did the Holy Spirit move! You got to go back and watch today on your Facebook page the Wednesday night service. It was just a spontaneous prayer meeting. Had a little bit of minor, shoulder injury here, and so hey, stay there. And so anyway, but we broke out into a prayer meeting. We had folks coming forward and just praying at the altar spontaneously. It was fantastic, and it was just reminded, that whole example of being a good example. I got to see heroes in our church just really come to the front, and we went off script. We didn't even get to Dr. Evans, and you finish us out with a song, and it was just impromptu. And so I love what the Holy Spirit's doing in our church, and even though there's pain and there's difficulty right now, I'm learning the painful part is that the world will survive without me, and it goes on.
That's
and
right.
I've just
I've
got to learn how to just, I've got to learn how to be still. And so that's hard for me because I know that the world will go on, but it won't if I don't do my job. So
Yeah. I came in from singing with the teens, and I walk in, and Jim's over here hollering like a Pentecostal.
Oh man, he was
like,
happy.
what's going on?
It was
what
good,
are we doing?
dude. Yeah,
yeah. So
it was amazing. So yeah, check it out, folks. Go back and listen to it last night. I promise you, the teens got prayed over. Parents and teenagers, you got prayed over last night. If you haven't listened to Josh's prayer, you said it.
I'm going to clip that, and
dude.
post it later.
That was amazing. Good. Every parent needs to get their butt on there and listen to that.
Josh is going to preach for me on one of the Sundays that I'm supposed to preach.
And we got teen camp VBS and missions trips covered, dude. It was amazing. It was a great prayer time last night.
My worst of the weekend was showing up to pre-K graduations.
Oh no. Okay, listen. You give me so much flack for talking about Nora and a dishwasher.
The mask.
Yes, I am instantly triggered by a mask.
Hold on, where's the bleep button?
Not by
where's
a
the
mask.
bleep?
I'm instantly triggered by somebody making me wear a mask. I don't care about the mask itself. If you want to wear a mask, that's great. You have the freedom to do that, okay?
But not just the people that are enforcing wearing a mask, but enforcing wearing a mask while
they're not wearing a mask.
trigger point.
I just want to see him get so
They tell me to walk from point A to point B and put a mask on and then go sit in the crowd. And it's okay. You can take your mask off in the crowd. Well, I appreciate that part, but why do I got to wear it from point A to point B? And then you don't wear your mask from point A to point B.
Mr. Stahl, Mike Stahl, get mom in the room now.
Mommy. Like, where is the logic in this? Where is the logic? I just want some simple logic.
Chuck, we need you to zoom in on Tanner's face because it's the same color as Terry's shirt right now.
He's got to go back in the pool.
And I put it on Facebook the other day. I was like, y'all just be thankful I had a church shirt on at the time that this was happening because I would have lost my cool.
Would you like to take one of my muscle relaxers?
Yes. Give me some of that. Give me some of them meds. But and then poor Ashley, she just has to deal with it because she's like, oh no, here we go again, not again. And I'm like, just I don't care about the mask. If you want to do it, great, that's awesome. If you're vaccinated, why do you need a mask? I'm going to shut up. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
What are you doing?
Please keep going, Tanner.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. Well, that's going to wrap up our segment of the podcast. Does y'all have anything else you want to add here in this fun, exciting time?
Now, my new one is not dishwasher; it's a lawnmower now. So I'm going to recommend Four Seasons again as my.
Hey, by the way, you still got my compressor. By the way,
I do, and I still need it because it still keeps going.
Yeah.
Buy a new tire.
I know.
Tim Schubart is a wonderful man, and will give you a tire.
Yes.
He will give you a tire.
Tim, I need the hookup, man.
And it's like 2 minutes from here, so it's really
down the street.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, I live in South Tillow. I could probably just drive it down to Tim's shop. It's fine. We've seen Stranger Things.
All right.
But
I'm hungry.
I
I'm
recommend
hungry,
Tim's
too.
and Four Seasons. Local recommendations. Do great work on lawnmowers, on
By
tires,
the way,
all
for those
kinds
of you
stuff.
that don't know, is it tomorrow or is it the 15th is the tax deadline? So is it Friday?
About the 17th.
Okay.
It's
Monday.
15th, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Get your
Well, it's coming up
taxes in
soon if you
now.
hadn't got 'em
How about
done.
just everybody don't pay their taxes and we'll tell the government,
Well, I
Well,
got to
see
use
you in
mine.
jail.
I got to use mine to pay for gas now.
That's
so.
true. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, that will wrap up the Connect Church podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We love all of you guys and all your
Yes.
wonderful comments.
Love you, church. Love you, community.
Keena said, had our Connect Church shirts yesterday and had a lady in the Houston airport ask you about our church yesterday. That is awesome.
Tell her to come this
Awesome.
Sunday.
Yeah, tell them to come to Sunday.
Flying on in.
Live stream.
Yeah, so there you go. My dad is asking for birthday gift suggestions because my birthday's coming up in June. It'll be my birthday month.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, when is it?
In
When
June.
No, like what day?
June 15th.
Praise the Lord, I won't be here.
Well, we were going to have a pool party at the house, but you're not
Hey.
going to get invited. So
I definitely don't want to see you in your
got
Speedo.
it. Wait. I've got it. Don't end the podcast right now. Everybody on June the 15th, send in Tanner your favorite mask.
and you're muted. Okay, yeah. Yes. I don't care if you wear a mask. That's great, but just don't tell me to wear one while you're not wearing one.
Please send in a mask to Tanner. That's what he wants, Mike.
Actually, what I want is Dad got a new truck, and I'd just rather have your truck, Dad. Hey, how about that?
Oh yeah. What did he get? What did he get?
He got an F-150.
Oh yeah, it should have been a Chevy.
It should have been a Chevy. If I'd have had a truck, I wouldn't have shattered my windshield. That's anyways, but
Yeah, that's true.
anyways, all
Same
right.
subject.
All right, cool. All right, well, let's go eat because I'm hungry.
Me
Y'all
too.
have a great day, and we will see you next week, maybe on the podcast, or we're gonna live stream again next week.
You're the boss, dude.
Whatever feeling like. So stay tuned.
See the pictures
For
of my
more.
kids.
All right, y'all have a good week. Bye.
Peace.
I love you, and the Lord loves you.